All right. Welcome to the 2024 Virtual Goodyear Cup Series season preview. First of all, what the heck is this? I will leave a link in the description to the longer version of this whole series announcement, but the short version is that I'm going to be doing a full season in NASCAR Racing 2003. Except the twist is that it's not going to be from my perspective. It's not going to be a let's play. It's not going to be out of the windshield, my driver's view. But what we're going to do is we're going to present the whole 20 race season in just kind of broadcast style. And I'm just going to be just another character in this narrative that's just going to naturally progress. So let's get right to it. Today we're going to talk about three things: the rules package that we'll be using, the driver roster for this season, and the tentative season schedule. So, first thing, this is going to be the most controversial, is our rules package. We're going to be doing a full season points championship, so no playoffs, no winner-take-all finale, just whoever has the most points at the end of 20 races is going to be crowned the champion. The system that we're going to be using is actually the IndyCar points system, and honestly, the main reason that I've chosen this one is just for simplicity's sake. I mean, you can look right there: 50 points for a win, 40 for second, 35 for third. So this system really rewards wins by giving you quite a big margin, and then it starts going down in smaller increments, but you can see that it is a lot easier to memorize than the native 2003 system, where it's like 180 points for a win, and then it goes down in kind of weird, hard to remember increments. This system also does not punish finishing poorly quite as badly. You can see 25th all the way through not even finishing is going to guarantee you 5 points, which some people might not be a huge fan of that, but honestly, that just kind of, that's not the main reason why I picked this. It's just, it kind of comes with the territory of this nice simplified system. We're going to be using the website nr2k3.weebly. They have a lovely page that has several different point systems you can use, but you just export your race results to an HTML file and import them into the website and choose whichever system you want, and it will spit you out the point standings. So that's really great. It's really simple, except for the bonus points, so it's not going to be 100%, 50, 40, 35. You do get one bonus point for pole position, which NASCAR I don't believe has ever done. Maybe they did that way in the past, but at least not in recent history. And then you're going to get 1 point to lead any number of laps and 2 points for leading the most laps. And I could be wrong on this, but I think the system that the Weebly website is using stacks those two together. So potentially you could be getting 54 points maximum, but certainly 51 points is the minimum that you will get for a win, because obviously you can't win a race if you don't lead at least one lap, the most important lap. Now for some even more controversial rules changes from what real life is doing. We are going to be doing single file restarts. So the race will begin double file, but I'm using the Better Cautions mod so that we don't have to race back to the line like they did in 2003. There's going to be some weird shenanigans with that too, because it's not a perfect mod, so it might not be perfectly at the moment of caution, but just kind of comes with the territory. We'll have to deal with that. But honestly, this is, I know this kind of goes against the spirit of this series, because this series is entirely meant for entertainment purposes, and single file restarts aren't as entertaining, but I do think they're a little more fair. NASCAR has kind of fixed that with the choose cone, but I don't think a mod exists for the choose cone, and I don't want a choose cone for my personal series, so that's what we're doing. We're simplifying it, nice clean single file restarts. And then most controversially, I've probably already lost anybody that has read this, we're not going to be doing any overtime. No green, white, checkered finishes. The advertised race distance is the race distance, and if you'll hear me out, I'll try and defend this. I know everybody wants the race to end under green, ideally, but honestly, most of the time in a green-white checkered, the leader at the restart is going to take off and win anyway. And also, like, in real life, I've kind of been sick of how these green-white checkered finishes just turn into absolute demolition derbies. It's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of frustrating. Like, I just give me a winner, please. Can we please end the race and just declare a winner? And also, selfishly, I don't want to have to drive any extra laps, and I don't want to have to edit any extra laps. So that's what we're doing. And honestly, I like how when you have a real possibility of the race ending under yellow, it really increases the sense of urgency in the late stages of a race, because you can't just wait until the white flag to make your move anymore. The race could end at any second, so it's go time. Get in front and keep in the front, because the race could end at any second, and to me, that's exciting. So, sorry if you're not a fan of that, but this is my series and I get to do what I want.
This is my world! My world!
Right, so drivers and teams. Not really any major deviations here from real life. We've got 38 drivers that are going to be competing in this one. 36 of them are, I believe it's just all of the chartered teams, so I don't really have any part-time teams. A few of the drivers are part-time drivers, but I just either went with whoever is driving the most number of races for that particular car, or just honestly who I wanted, who I felt vibed with that car the most and just kind of represents that car to me. There are going to be a few paint schemes that are from 2023 just because I like them better, but for the most part, no major changes. We do have 2 fictional drivers that will be driving in this season. You can see here from Papyrus Racing, Fred Jones Jr. So if you've played any of the Papyrus NASCAR games before, you are already probably familiar with the legend of Fred Jones. That has been the name for one of the player cars in their series. I think since NASCAR 2, it might have actually been in NASCAR Racing 1. But anyway, Fred Jones has been a legend of sorts because that's that's the player character. And so we've got an AI driver that we're naming Fred Jones Jr., just because Fred Jones has been around for a while, so I figured the timeline kind of worked with that. And we've given him the player character car, the player character paint scheme from NASCAR Racing 2003. So there's Fred Jones for you. Here's the Penske teams. You can see Rick Ware Racing. Kaz Grala is not full-time, but he will be in this series here. And then there's our other fictional driver, fictional me, Sean Gossett. I'll be driving the number 56 Makita Ford Mustang for Spork Motorsports. And then here are the Toyota teams. So these are all 2024, I can guarantee you, because we had to have a new body style with them, which forced me to get all of their new paint schemes, which was a huge pain in the butt and delayed me even further. Right, so here is the very tentative season schedule. That asterisk is carrying a lot of weight here, so subject to change at my whims at any time. But it's going to be 20 races. Most of them I'm going to try and do kind of the modern versions, so I'll be downloading modern versions of the tracks. But a few exceptions here. We're going to be going to Daytona, obviously, start the season right with the Daytona 500. Then we're going to go to the 2003 version of Phoenix, the native version of Phoenix in NASCAR Racing 2003, solely because aesthetically it's my favorite. I love the light blue walls. I love the desert theme. I love how there's actually grass in the infield. There's sand in the infield. I love that it's got the Goodyear pedestrian bridge coming out of what was then Turn 4. So to me, that's just the prettiest version of Phoenix, so we're going with that. Then race 3, my home race, Circuit of the Americas. Then we're going to what I believe is officially called 777 Speedway. I've heard it multiple different names. I've heard it called 37 Speedway, but this is, if you have ever played the old arcade game, Daytona USA, it's the first track from that. Somebody has made a mod that you can download. I guess not a mod, but has made that track that works in NASCAR Racing 2003. In this game, it drives a little more like a short track than it does like the Super Speedway in the original arcade game. But it's still got all the elements. It looks like the old arcade game. So there you go. That one's a fun little fictional addition to our season schedule. Then we're going to be going to Dover, then Nashville Super Speedway will be making an appearance, then North Wilkesboro, Charlotte, Homestead, Miami, the current one with the progressive banking. Then we'll be going to Sonoma, Pocono, Michigan, Indianapolis, the Oval, which we never should have left. I don't care if it's boring. It's got too much history. Kissing the bricks, the NASCAR Oval, it's the Brickyard 400. Anyway, Watkins Glen, Darlington for the throwback race. We are going to be doing throwback paint schemes for everybody for this one. I think we're going to pretty much keep the paint schemes the same for everybody for most of the season, except for Darlington. I've been curating my throwback playlist. Then we'll be going to Atlanta. I don't know which version I'm using yet, but it's going to be pre-2021. I realize that I have the coldest takes here, the least popular takes, but I don't like that they changed Atlanta into a super speedway. It's my least favorite style of racing. I thought old Atlanta was one of my favorite tracks with all the tire wear and everything, and I'm sad about that. So we're going to go to pre-2021 Atlanta. Then Bristol, where I will crash a ton. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to crash once, and it's going to be enough to get me out. Anyway, then Texas Motor Speedway, Martinsville, and then we're closing out the season at the Rockingham in North Carolina. I figured that's probably a good place to have a season finale, right? In the backyard of NASCAR. It's not quite Charlotte, but it's in that state. We're going to try and get a modern version if we can, but if not, there's always the one that just came default with NASCAR Racing 2003. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you are still with me, boy, thank you for listening to me yap about pretend virtual cars for a long time. Race 1 is actually ready to go, so we'll be releasing that sometime soon. I don't know exactly when, but it's happening. All these races are probably happening. They'll come out when they come out, but you know how I am. So yeah, just be excellent to each other, take care of each other, love one another, and I'll see you later.